Welcome to the short tutorial of how to install QGIS for E171. First, I'd like to start by going down to the link below to download QGIS for your platform. Today, we will be going through installing QGIS on a Windows 10 platform, 64-bit. If you need to fix or find out your Windows version, you can do that using the link below. But I've already downloaded this file, so what I will do is go through the process of installing it for Windows 10, allow you to see that process, and show you how to bring in the files that we'll be working with for the tutorial 2 for E171. E171 is the Water, Health, and Sustainable Development class at the Harvard Extension School, and the semester this time is spring 2017. So if we just click Run, we'll see a window come up that tells us a little information about it. We agree to the license, so I've reviewed this quickly myself, and you can do so as well. You select a download location. I would suggest selecting the defaults here. You can also, if you want, download more data sets. However, we don't need to do that now, so we click Next and it begins to install. Now at this point I will pause the video and come back to it as it's installing. It may take a few minutes on your computer, so I did pause the video at this point. And we're back, and it's completed, so all you have to do is click Finish, and so now you have it installed. Now if we go to the E171 course website under Modules and Class 5, that's Modules, so the home website, click on the left, go to Modules. As you can see, all of the reading material is here. We can go down to tutorial2data.zip, and all we have to do is click on it, so we can see some information on it. Click on it, and then it says that it can't be displayed. But if you go up to the top there that says download, you can save it to a place like your desktop. And so once you save it, you can open that and extract it. So in Windows, extraction occurs by just clicking on it and right-clicking on it and extracting, or double-clicking on it and copying the materials out of it. In Mac, it does it automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. Right, but once you've extracted it, you can see that there are a ton of different files. Now, each of these files, file names that has multiple files, corresponds to a single shapefile. You'll find that if you try to open these separately, they don't work. The reason why is because a geographical information system is able to take these various files and use them to represent the objects, right? So one of the files may give us information about how the objects are to be colored. The other might give us information about the size of the objects. Another might give us information about the relation of the objects to one another, right? So there are different ways we encode information about those objects. So we have to bring all of those files in together to create something called a shapefile. And so we do that, we go to Project, and if you haven't created a new project, you can go to Project New. Otherwise, we go to Layer, Add Layer. We click on Browse. We click on our Tutorial 2 Unpacked dataset, and then we just Control A or select all, because we want to bring in all of the data that we have here. And so we go to bring that in, and if we just click open, it might take a bit of time, but it will open. And now we see the shapefiles have been loaded, which is great. It can't read one of the files, but that's okay. And we can see that it's brought in the data that we that we want to work with. And so there's a few things you can do. You can change the color of these. You can change the method for filling that, and then we can look at something called the attribute table. And this gives us information about the variables, the data that we have on this. So for example, this contains things like the racial distribution of population. So population white is the population of people who are attributed as white. In the census, we can keep going down and gain more information about the people of Flint. And we can actually color the map based on these values. And we can do that by just going either right-clicking, going to properties, or double-clicking on the layer. And now remember that these are layers, right? And so they are layered, literally, on top of one another. So they're different. Think of like sheets of paper in a stack, different data sets of paper in a stack, right? Maybe we have one layer that gives us information about the people, another layer that gives us the river, the extent of the river. And so in this case, I double-clicked on the river and I changed the width of the river to be a bit larger. I clicked apply, but now we can't really see it, right? So the question is, how do we then show the river? It's clearly behind another layer, and so all we have to do is drag it up. And once we do that, we see that it starts, and we can drag it up a little further and finally to the top, and there it is. So you can see that this is a layered type program where data can be displayed in many different ways. But so I would play around with dragging and dropping layers, changing the colors, and see where it goes from there. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. You have my email. So good luck with QGIS. If you run into any trouble, let me know. Thank you very much for watching.